Let us all thank the film gods for giving us this man. The newest movie of Korean director Park Chan-wook is called The Handmaiden and tells the story of a woman who is hired as a handmaiden to a Japanese heiress when her actual goal is to defraud her. I confess, I was looking forward to see this movie, but I wasn't burning with anticipation because normally I'm not that into these kind of period costume pieces, even if they look beautiful. I was so wrong, and I had to know how wrong I was because roughly 10 years ago I adored Park Chan-wook as much as I could adore any director out there. I always loved movies, but seeing Oldboy for the first time, and the second, and the third, and so on, was one of those moments that let me realize I want to explore films and the art of filmmaking and film history more than just as a little hobby. There were many years where I listed Oldboy as my #1 favorite movie of all time, but I think because of the little disappointment that came with his only American movie, Stoker, I kinda moved on. It's good to be back, and it's wonderful that Park makes movies in his homeland once again. This movie couldn't be realized this way in the US. No frickin' way. But let's start with the beginning, and it only takes like 5 minutes until you realize this won't be an ordinary period piece. It's not one of those heavy, serious and depressing movies. It's told with irony and an easiness that's remarkable when you consider its themes. This will be a spoiler-free review, so I can only go into the beginning and tell you rather vaguely what's happening later on. This is a movie that will surprise you. From the way it's told, you know you're in for something very special. Park Chan-wook is someone who is all about structure, all about storytelling, all about crafting a clever, mind-blowing narrative where all the pieces fit together in the end. From the first shot onwards, this is a movie crafted by an absolute master of cinema. From the writing to the montage, the little transitions, the camera angles and movements, the staging to the stunningly beautiful shots, the way the bodies fill the screen, the music. It's an explosion of style, but it's style with content. The characters are rich and the performances and direction are flawless. I enjoyed myself in many movies this year, but this was something else. I fell in love with what I saw on the screen and with what this movie made me feel. You think you know what's going on, and then Park changes the direction and suddenly it becomes a very different story. Almost all of it takes place in the beautiful mansion of Lady Hideko. She lives with her uncle Kuzuki, an older man who is obsessed with books, especially with erotic sadomasochistic novels. Suki is the Korean handmaiden who is secretly a world-class pickpocket who should help seduce Hideko in order to fall in love with a swindler posing as a Japanese count. It's all set in the World War II era of Japanese occupation, and while it's fascinating to see the story unfold in that time, theoretically the basic story could be adapted into another time or country. Actually, it is a loose adaptation of an English novel called Fingersmith, but by adapting it and moving it to Japan/Korea of the 30s, Park makes it his very own. Well, he does that more by his way of storytelling actually. I only want to emphasize that you shouldn't be afraid to watch this movie because you maybe don't like period or war pieces. As the plan progresses, Suki and Hideko discover some unexpected emotions, and let me just tell you, this is one erotic movie. It's done very classy and at the same time very direct. It's hard to describe. There are moments where the camera just teases you, and then there are moments where it shows you very drastically. I tried to tell you what it's all about without giving away too much. Let me put it this way. It's one of the most feminist movies I've seen in a long time. So what can you expect from this almost 2.5 hour long movie? It's definitely not a lot of action like in some previous movies by Park, but you can expect some humor where you don't even expect it. Again, it kind of feels like his most light-hearted film, even though there are explicit sex scenes, torture, suicide and other human miseries. But the way it is told, emphasizing the different plans, focusing on little details like a certain phrase or an important piece of jewelry, repeating many motifs throughout the movie, it's just done so effortlessly and beautifully. At the same time, it never forgets to keep its earnestness about its themes and its characters. There's a moment in the last third that felt more cathartic and epic than any big action set piece I've seen all year. I really love this movie from start to finish, and I can't help but give it a big 9 out of 10. Alright, that's it. Like always, please tell me in the comments below what you think about The Handmaiden, and also please tell me, do you know movies of Park Chan-wook? And if so, what's your favorite one? And if you don't know Oldboy, go see it. And of course, the original, not the remake. You can also hit me up on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook simply at the Jimmy Cage. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.